Yeah. I'm just kind of looking through some screen prints that I have on this phone. Yes. hmm And it seems that that I've not been effective at communicating. Quite often when you work in law enforcement, you give yourself what is known as a memo. Yeah. You ever get one of those memos before? Something about the policy or the thoughts of the individual department or agency and what you're going to do as an office. Yeah. A department. Now, it could be that you didn't get the memo about enforcing the laws. I send emails. It's not like I have the authority of the chief of police. I can't make you enforce the laws. Maybe you should send a memo, a memo. Just sitting here. Did you get a copy of the screen prints from June 16th of 2017? I didn't have time to download them, but I do know I put them in the 778 Trees and Videos folder. Yes. And I put them in the War Crimes drive, but I noticed that somebody was tagging my Facebook profile when I tried to put them on Facebook. Do you did you get those the screen prints? See, I've sent you what could be 1,000 screen prints. Yeah, all kinds of different laws, and somebody's thinking, well, Paul just doesn't have any lawsuits, and he's right. He's making some sort of plea. Yes, won't you please do what the law says? But when you've included as many screen prints as I have, yeah, with as many emails that I've sent, that have as much information as the see, it might be that you don't respond unless it's a memo. Did you need to get a memo today? Now, I have lots of screen prints, and I put a lot of those in the jail screen prints folder. Yeah. And it really looked to me like somebody was intentionally trying to obstruct my right to have the laws enforced. Yeah. As if it was a good idea to intentionally arrest people that you do know did not commit any crime. Now, there could be a commitment problem. Let's say you're sworn in as the undersheriff, a jailer. And when you swore, you did not really commit to what you had said. It was kind of like a false commitment. I'm big on the whole oath of office. Yes. I think that anytime there's an elected oath of office or an appointed oath of office, and they swear with their mouth and they have it subscribed that they will support and defend the Constitution, and then you get a screen print that I wasn't in Jefferson County on June 16th. I think that you have an obligation to make a commitment to the support and defense of the Constitution. Now, maybe you need a memo. Do you think that I'm, well, groveling? Thousands of screen prints, millions of emails, tens of thousands of videos. And for the most part, I would say for the last 3.5 years, I've probably documented thousands of lawsuits. Now, let's say we looked at settlement negotiations. See, there's a screen print that I don't know as I had read, but it does say exercise caution, yes, in settlement negotiations with the self-represented litigant, yes. Now, the ABA's commentary on the Model Rules, Ethics Rules 4.3, notes that in a situation where the lawyer must deal with an unrepresented person whose interests may be averse to the interests of the lawyer's client, yeah, which is almost always the case in a family law case, yeah, The possibility that the lawyer will compromise the unrepresented person's interest is so great, that the rule prohibits the giving of any advice apart from the advice to obtain counsel. Now, there have been a few different instances over the last 4 years that different employees, yes, of the government have advised me to obtain counsel. Did you want me to motion the court? See, I'm the self-represented litigant today. I do retain counsel, and then I decide who I'm going to do deal with. Yeah, and what I'm going to do. I would, I would think, yes, even though I could pay attorneys to prepare lawsuits for me, yes, I could tell them at any time, well, why don't you let me represent myself when it involves this lawsuit? Now, let's say I'm suing the Port Angeles Police Department. And each of the officers in that police department thought, well, we're going to have to work with Paul's attorney firm. Yeah. And I thought, no, you can work with me. Now you take the badge off because I could be a lot worse than any attorney. You don't really realize as a self-represented litigant, yes, how mean I can be as self-represented. Now I can pay $200 to $1,000 an hour. I can have them write the lawsuits, yes, but it requires my signature. And any time that I see a lawsuit, then I personally have knowledge of the individual. Yes. And their whole thought was, well, we're just going to make him go to court. Yes. And we're going to refuse to admit the evidence. Yep. And we're not going to talk to him. We're not going to ask him, well, where were you on June 16th of 2017? There is something worse than an attorney firm. Now, a lot of attorneys, they think they're really something. Yes. Because the Port Angeles Police Department is going to have to retain counsel. Yeah. And then I tell them, well, as the individual that decides that I want to represent myself in this lawsuit, your attorneys will have to deal with me. Now, I do know how to read a lot of the words in the legal profession. Yeah. It's as if you didn't want to settle with me right now. You didn't want me to get any money. Now, just so that I know, yes. Why would I, as a self represented litigant, yes, want to represent myself when suing certain offices, departments, government agencies? Oh, well, there's this idea of the attorney lawsuit. Yes. See, on the one side, there is the plaintiff or defendant, petitioner, respondent, criminal, and civil. Yeah. Then on the other side, there's me, yes, as the petitioner. Somebody that you've never thought of before. Yeah. Now they can write the lawsuit. Yes. They might even have to put their signature or some other personal information on it. Yeah. Nothing to say I can't buy it. Make it my own. Use their brains and their ideas for the lawsuit and then represent myself. How many judges in the United States of America